Hey, it's me again. Some people were asking for some assistance getting started doing what I do with the trees here, and I decided to make a video for that. So what we have here is some soft copper wire, like 20-25 strands. I got this stuff out of some old speaker wire. A little bit about wire selection. You want to be able to bend the wire back and forth quite a few times before it breaks. Otherwise, when you're twisting the trees up, the wire will break. And I drilled some holes in this piece of plastic and then thread the wire through the holes. You don't want to drill your holes too close together or your jig will break, like the bigger holes there did. You can see those. Yeah. So this, you need to have your holes set for the size of the wire. You want your wire to move pretty freely in the holes. That's important later, as you'll see. We'll back this up here because I bent it up here because I've been holding it. And you can see the whole thing there. This tree is only going to be about that tall at max. We need the rest of that wire for making leaves. You never want to run out of wire on this end, because that's what, if you get too short, you won't have enough leaves for your tree. At any rate, next thing you got to do is you got to pick a direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise. You can't do both. Well, actually you can, but that's for advanced tree twisting later. You don't want the roots to get tangled up, because they're going to have to pull through the jig there later when we make our roots. And so basically I'll put a thumb on the plastic here to keep that from spinning, and then I'll start twisting this clockwise. And I'm holding on to the roots so they don't pull through. And there you go. You got your first little bit of trunk done on the tree there. Once again, don't let these roots get tangled up. And okay, so keep making a trunk. You just pinch where you stopped, and then we'll go a little taller. Ooh, and even a little taller yet. You might want to put a bend. If you're going to put bends in your trunk, don't twist too far ahead, or you will not be able to put a bend in there real easy, especially if you're doing a bigger tree with thicker wire. So I'm going to put my bends in my trunk now. Make it a little more interesting. Okay, now we got a little bit of a twisty trunk there. And get it a little tighter there. And we're going to make a branch. Before you make a branch, make sure your wire's tight up all the way to where you want to make it. And then we're going to, this will be something you'll be doing all the time. It's called combing out the tangles, because when you twist, you put tangles in it. And before you make a branch, you want to have your wire working free. And then you get your fingernail in there right above where you want the branch to go. Pick where you want it carefully. I want this one to go right here, so I'll get my fingernail in there. And then I'll actually split the wires all the way through. And then comb that split out so you don't have tangles. Boom, and we got a good split. Now to make a good branch, you want to pull from some wires from the very center of the twist, which is going to be hard for you to see there. But I got 2 wires from the center of the twist. Don't pull out too many wires at once or it'll be hard. And I'm going to go for 1 more from the center. Okay, so I got like 4 from the center of the twist. And then I'm going to take a few wires from the outer edge of the twist. That's kind of why you need so many wires just to start. Okay, and now I got my branch pulled out, some from the middle, some from the outside. Then I'm just going to twist this branch clockwise. Okay, now that part's done. Now we got to continue on with the trunk. So you get in here, kind of work stuff around a little bit so it gets back to a circle, and then we're ready to twist more trunk. Okay, look how far we got already. We already got some progress there. So using that combination of methods there, you just keep doing branches in the trunk and you get far up, and eventually you get up here around here, you'll have to stop because you got to leave wire for making leaves. And that's how you get your trunk and your branches made. Once you get your branches made, you're basically going to do those little splits to do sub branches and stuff. And then it's time to make some leaves with the wire that's, you know, at the ends here. And I'll show you how we do that. I have this pliers that I kind of ground down and made sure there's no real sharp edges on it because it'll actually cut the wire. But then you just take your wire, start right at the end, and you make little loops in it. Over, under. And you just keep curling the leaves up. Over, under. And you get little loop-de-loops in the end of the wire there. And you just keep doing that until you get it all the way up to the branch there, and then you kind of, you know, wiggle them leaves around and get them in place, and then go on to the next wire. So, after you get all your leaves and your branches done at the top, it's time to work on the roots. And what I do is I'll pull this out of the jig a little bit. And you can see that there. Got the base of the tree. I'll usually wrap something right around the bottom of the trunk there to keep it tight when I make the roots. But then at any rate, I'll pull it that far out, and then what I usually do is take some wires and stick them through there right at the bottom. And you kind of make an X at the bottom of the tree. That'll help keep everything tight once it's all put together. And I'll do that, and then right where those wires are, you can see where they, you know, come out. I'll pull just a couple wires out of the jig and then make a few roots there to lock everything down. And then once I got my X in there, I'll pull it all the way out of the jig, and then you just use the same trunk technique you used on the trunk and the branches, and you make roots with that, and you'll have yourself a tree. Let me think, is there anything else that I need to tell you? I think that pretty much sums it up. Oh, wait, almost forgot. Hey, I'm doing this contest thing. I could get my art on a billboard and win some money. So I'll have this link down there in the bottom. If you guys feel like clicking on it and supporting me, there's a support me button on there. Go for it. If you don't feel like it, don't sweat it. I'm pretty much a long shot anyways, but what the heck, give it a shot, eh? But thanks for watching. I hope this helps some of you guys get started out making trees. Thanks for watching.